So, Yoel, like the Roman Cohen Joel, Yoel asked me to speak about Purim a little bit before we do our meditation. You know, Purim is a yontiv that we all look forward for it. I already heard weeks already, people calling me, kvetching about Pesach. Weeks. Not just a few. And also helping with the Shalom Bayis, the disagreeing where to go for Pesach, what to do Pesach. But Purim, I never had a problem. No one ever says, I can. Purim, we look forward, it's a joyful, it's an incredible yontiv. So let me start this way. There's a very famous question which the Kedushas Levi asks. And of Kedushas Levi, one of the great Hasidic masters, asks a very practical question. We say on Chanukah, on Purim, She'osa Nisan Aveseni, B'yom HaMehem B'zman Hazeh. We say, you made a nes, the Yom HaMehem, at this time. Do not say that bracha by the Seder. Notice, we don't make the bracha the Seder. We should rather make it the Seder. Why do we make it over here? That's the famous question the Kedushas Levi asks. Now, let me explain something very, very profound and try to teach you some Hasidic thought. If you're not used to, I'll try to help make it easier to understand. So, Metzias Mitzrayim was done with the Shem Havaya, the name of Hashem. Meaning to say, everything that happened from Metzias Mitzrayim till they came to Eretz Yisrael, everything was above supernatural. Everything. The Temakas, from Dam, Tzefadeic, everything was supernatural. I always say in Shul, I always tell them, what to me the biggest nest was? The biggest nest was that in the morning, of the first morning of right after the Seder night, we all got to act together and we left. You guys, you got to go on the trip Chalamoid, and you all say, we're leaving 9 o'clock, and if it happens 12 o'clock, you're lucky. Sounds familiar? And where are you going already? Just going to outing, to Disneyland. Where are you going already? And we can't go and act together. We got to this, we got to pack this, we got to pack this. Imagine you got to pack your whole house, old ladies, old men, small children, nursing, and it's amazing. It's just super amazing. They all got to act together, and they all left. But everything in Metzias Mitzrayim was incredible, miraculous. Man, I never heard such a thing. Man, have fall from heaven. Man, the water came, and the Nana Kuva came, and Matan Torah. Everything was a supernatural thing. What happened was, after Charbon Bayis session, all those supernatural things stopped. And what the Rebbeinu Shalom showed us by the Megillah is the Kedushas Levi quotes as Rebbe, the Heilige Magim measure. It's a mag. It said Megillah means to uncover, to magel ka, to show how the Rebbeinu Shalom is in our daily lives. That is a much, much higher level. Soon explain to you why. A much, much higher level of Kedusha to show that how the Rebbeinu Shalom, in the free will of people, he gets involved. Because the free will, we were created for one reason, to express our free will. That's what we were created for. We're here, imagine, you're here in this world to exercise your free will. We are tested from morning to night. You have to think about it. We're here, and we are every day, get tested with many, many things all the time. But that's why we're here. The Rebbeinu showed in the free will how he, orchestrated the incredible everything that happened. That is, I'll soon explain, that's called the Shad Nun. I'll explain it from the Shad Nun, which is the highest level. Because what happened was, let's start the Megillah. The Megillah begins, who are Chashverosh? The beginning begins, he made a party. You know why he made the party? The Gemara says he made the party to celebrate the Bais Mikdash is not going to be built. He made a cheshbon 7 years passed by, and I feel secure, and everything is great. And Mordechai made a big announcement, no one should go to the party. They didn't listen to him, they ignored him. They went to the party, and according to Mamadum in the Medrash, Haman made sure there were girls there too, got them to sin according to Mamadum in the Medrash. But the Gemara seems to say just the party itself was the wrong place to go. And for that reason, the Gemara says, the Rebbeinu Shalom says, they deserve to be wiped out. One Manduma says because they bow down Mechanetza, but let's focus on this Manduma, Shenahanam Oisis Suda. Says the Chasam Sofer, I want you to hear this well. There was the miracle and a miracle and a miracle. That meal which they ate, and that meal, which they sinned, which they deserved the horrible punishment, the Rebbeinu Shalom made sure the Haman is the one who had Vashti killed. It was the 7th day, Tauber March, and he said, I want you to bring Vashti. And Memuchan was Haman. And so Haman killed Vashti in order Esther to become queen, because the Rebbeinu Shalom already made the refuah for the Makkah in the time as we were sinning. It's not the Rebbeinu Shalom, says, I'll make a gzeda, in the time of the thing, the Rebbeinu Shalom made but this is an incredible, think about this is an incredible, the whole thing, the entire Megillah Esther has to do with free will. I tease the single guys. I always tell them, how many any single guys? How many girls he dated? What's his name? Moment was says a medrash 1,000. He had a list. It says before the medrash, he had a list. What I want, what I don't want, what's good. So you tell him, you think you're gonna choose what you want. You're gonna choose what I tell you to choose. You're gonna marry Esther by hook and crook. Imagine this guy, and Esther did nothing. We don't have to go detail over here. All of them tried everything, tricks to get him his attention. Who doesn't want to become queen? Esther lay there like a cold turkey. Nothing, and the Rebbeinu Shalom says, you're going to choose the one I'm telling you to choose. And he chose Esther, and Esther became queen. And then Biksha Meserish, the story. The whole Megillah is fascinating, that in Shano, in the entire Megillah, Hashem's name is not mentioned. Isn't it amazing? Why is Hashem's name not mentioned? So the Chazal say, when it says Melech, without Achashverosh, it's a Medrash, it means the Rebbeinu Shalom. There's even another Medrash, Achashverosh is Hashem. Achris, V'reish is Shaloi. Achashverosh is Achris, the end, Reish is Shaloi. But the name of Hashem is not mentioned, because what the Megillah wanted to teach us, that we have to uncover Hashem in us. You have to find Hashem. You see, Esther Menat Torah Menayim. Where do we know Esther? At the end of the Torah it says, Esther, put I'll cover my face. The biggest challenge that we all have, we don't find Hashem with us. We don't see Hashem. We only start screaming to Hashem when we're in trouble. As the saying goes, no one is an atheist in a foxhole, something like that. When tzaras come, all of a sudden you say Tillim. But to live every day, know that Hashem is running the world and is in charge, and things happen the way it's happening, your panosa, your aggravation, and everything that happens to you is exactly what the Rebbeinu Shalom want. That's very, very hard. That's why Purim has, the Rizal says, I want to tell you a Mavel Diga Rizal. It says, Breslov Chassidim like to say, Rab Nachman Breslov said, till now everything was Eichel Tzis Mitzrayim. Now Purim came, everything, and he didn't want to finish the sentence. Mm-hmm. But the Rizal says, the Kisva Rizal says, that the Or of Purim is even higher than any light, because the Or of Purim shines in the darkness of free will. Every one of you today have business and dealings and aggravations, and what I learned from the pandemic, an insightful, it's an obvious sight. People were dying to meet other people. Just to connect, just to talk, just to sit. I had in my block a guy, every few days, he would have friends would visit, he would sit in the front porch, far away, beginning of the pandemic, I used to tell my wife, you go to Bar Park, there was never a pandemic. Never existed. Why? Now because they lived, they have this in the we have to be together, we have to daven together. This people have this, and even though part of us were sick and tired, with this guy, and this guy's annoying me, this guy's annoying me. Part of us don't want it, and part of us just love just to mingle amongst people. All this, the Rebbeinu Shalom orchestrates. Who you're going to meet, and who you don't meet, and who's your business, and who you cheated you, who didn't cheat you. All this, is the Rebbeinu Shalom orchestrating the life. And the Megillah, it's so continuously clear. You look back, wow, look what happened here, look what happened here, this has happened over here, it's just incredible. Each part of the story is incredible. Mordechai, it means, the word Mordechai is Ram. The word Mordechai is gematria, there's nun inside. The Mem Yud, from Mordechai, the Mem Yud, Ram, and the Yud is 50. The Klal Yisrael went into Mem Teshar Tuma in Mitzrayim. If they would have stayed there a little bit longer, we never would have had a tikkun. That's why we count 49 days of the Sfira, and the 50 we got a Torah. Says the Rizal that now, after what's his name, and now we have the Torah, we could go into Nun Sharatima because we have the Torah that could elevate us to pull us out totally from there. The Nun is the Shara Koil. It's inclusive, it's bigger than anything else. The Nun, that's why Haman made a tree 50 amos tall. He thought he's gonna somehow be victorious this way. So what I'm trying to say is what Purim should tell us. I told you the Maggid says Megillah is Magel Ka, to uncover the Rebbeinu Shalom. You notice, I want to tell you something very, very interesting. If you could remember this, to say this over, this is a Gevaldi Gevat. We say Achila, Shtia, Shina. There's always a Yud K in it. Achila has a Yud K, Shina has a Yud K, and Achila, Shtia has a Yud K, Shina. Always, Gashmi thing almost always have a Yud K. Ruchni thing has always the Vav K in it, the other half of Hashem's name. Avoida, Mitzvah, Torah, Truma, always has a Vav K. The Gashmi we have to elevate to the Yud K, the Chacham Abin have to elevate that half of Hashem, and the Mitzvahs, that's the second half of Hashem. So the Chassidim are very busy to explain the Great Land. I don't have enough time to explain it. Megillah is the only one that is a mitzvah, but has a Yud K in it. Because we have to, and the Megillah has to be part of the whole Megillah's Esther is Gashmias. We have to imagine. It's a mitzvah to get drunk. Imagine this. Can you imagine? Once a year is a mitzvah to drink and to eat and to be freilich and because that's where you have to elevate. The Megillah has a higher level. It's a mitzvah and it's a Megillah. The best way, I want to tell you something, the best way to have Hashem in your life is to meditate. If you don't meditate, you don't think about Hashem, out of sight, out of mind. If you don't think about Hashem, no one gets up in the morning, if you don't meditate, says, "Good morning, Hashem." We get up in the morning and we say, do we really have to get up? Can I hide under the covers for 3 days and disappear? You know what I mean? Do I really have to face the music?
We snooze. That's the first thing.
That's the first thing. Yeah, it's exactly. Don't get up, you first snooze. Till your wife gets annoyed with you.
Turn it off.
Yes, I'm saying, why? You know why this is? Why is it? Ask yourself this question. Why is it that we don't get up and say, I'm living another day? I'm debating if I should ask this question, but I will ask the question. I know I'm going to be online, but that's okay. I ask people in the small. It's okay. I ask people usually in the smaller shir. Even notice if you really like yourself, then you get up, take a schmuck. But if you don't like yourself, then you don't get up and take a schmuck. If you like yourself, you have good shalom bayis. Somehow you figure it out. If you're in a horrible mood, you blame your wife for everything. I'm sure none of you do this, but sometimes in your married life, I always say, if you're in a great mood, let's say, no matter you're in a great mood and everything is good, you like yourself, you're happy. So your wife nudges you and she annoys you. But if you're not happy with yourself, you don't have self-content, then everything is a load. So when a person meditates, slowly you learn how, here I am, this is what God made me. I have said this often, this word, this is very, very important. In Yiddish, there's a very, very profound word in Yiddish. In Yiddish, there's a saying, everyone has a meshigas, and meshugana has one too many. I'm sure you heard me say this. We all have a meshigas. Now, the trick is to accept your meshigas. Now, how do you do that? That the more you meditate, this is what Hashem made me. I'm here, this is me, I have my shortcomings, my longcomings, and this is what I am, you know what I mean? This is Hashem made me, and why shouldn't I enjoy life? I always ask myself this question. Today was a day that all of you spent time with, right? If you would have been a little happier today, wouldn't it have been a better day? You would have infused a little simcha in your day. Right? Just with an artificial simcha, just walk around, smiling, geschmack. You say, you come home, and you say, I try to do it every day. I come home, I have an empty nest. I tell my wife, you're the greatest Rebbitzin that anyone had. You know what I mean? She is bored of it, but she still smiles every day. Every day she smiles. But she knows it's artificial. I say to my children, to every child I say, you're my favorite. Every child knows that I say to the other child, I have Kenai and Ada. I have 7 daughters and 2 boys, you know what I mean? At one time, my daughter was visiting from New York, and one guy comes to Balabat and passes by, standing on the corner. I'm talking to my daughter, and I say to him, he looks to me and says, this is my favorite daughter. My daughter says, he has 7 of them. But she still feels good, and she's a mother of 7 children. She still feels good. If a person feels, happy, then you wake up in a happy mood, and your life is happier. You feel good yourself. Your shalom bayis is better. You get along with people better. So how can you turn this in? Is the best way is to meditate. So, some I see new faces, but anyways, when we meditate, they always say the best way is, for beginners, is to take a lot of deep breaths in the beginning, because it calms you down. But then try to tell yourself, Hashem is with me, on every pace on my part. So the easiest thing is to always focus on the painful things in life. Isn't that amazing? I don't think if I would go through the room, anyone could tell me that you have no pain. Does anyone in the room say it has absolute, the life is geschmack and everything is chit-chat? Doesn't exist. Isn't that amazing? Always amazed at this idea. No matter, you catch a guy no matter when, the chassan the day of his wedding, this didn't work out. I once asked the chassan, why you look, it should be the happiest day. He started to tell me, the room, the hotel they rented. What are you scratching about the hotel they rented? I tried to cheer him up. Scratching about the hotel that they rented. That's human nature. Human nature, if we don't have a tikvetch, we're going to look something to kvetch about. So the best way is to take Hashem when you meditate and bring him into your pain where it's painful, and tell yourself right there, think about Hashem is all over, and he made you. When I meditate, I always think about I'm his creation. I did not do one cell of my body. Imagine, not even a hair. I couldn't make my hair grow. The only thing I could do is fill up my tank. Depends what I fill it up. I filled it up with some water over here. And you fill it up with that. And then, I always think about this. Never, your wives work so hard to make it taste. How long does it taste? How long is it in your mouth? 5 seconds, 3 seconds for that hard work. And, never, people in the hospital where they can't eat, so they have a tube going straight in, and so life, we do nothing. We just fill up our tank. The Rebbeinu Shem makes us. The more you think about how the Rebbeinu Shem is with you in all your pain, the more you accept yourself, you accept your life. You become much more content. That doesn't happen in one time. It's a continuous thing. Now, it takes time. I made this more than once, so showed it to you. Cross your hands again. Cross your hands. Cross your hands. Now, cross your hands the other way. It's uncomfortable. You know why? It's muscles. So your mind is the same idea. Your mind, you could train your mind to focus. Now, beginning, people meditate, they have a very hard time. So even though your mind flies away, just bring it back in. It's going to fly away. Especially people who have ADHD, they even have it worse. But you could just bring it back and focus right there. It's like, and you train your muscle. You should know, you do it every day, you'll be able to sit and focus for an hour without, it could go by without realizing. But it's a muscle that you have to get used to it. So what you have to do is think of Hashem is all over. I a few weeks ago said over here a thing, maybe you can meditate on that. Do you know how quick the earth travels around the sun? Remember I told you? Someone corrected me over here and looked at Google, it's not 87, but 67,000 miles an hour. Do you hear? Earth travels 67,000 miles an hour in order to go around a full rotation of 1 year. It's got to have a lot of miles to travel. 67,000 miles the Earth is flying. And you know how quick it turns? Quicker than a top. Guys know what a top is when we were young. Quicker than a top because it travels 24,000 miles an hour. Because it's 24,000 makes a fool can imagine. And we didn't fly off. See the power of gravity? This is simple science. So sometimes I just meditate on simple things like this and think, how did the Rebbeinu Shalom made this? And he's looking down on earth and he's with us in our situation. Anyone has any questions?
So just I'll ask maybe for some newcomers, but I can describe how I do it, but I would say it in the form of a question. Is so when we're thinking about, let's say, that Hashem is with you in a pain, and you're meditating that, you're just saying the phrase over and over again in your head, and you keep on thinking about that.
There are people, let me just explain what he's asking. There are people who don't need to have a pasuk to say. When I was young, I remember I used to sing a pasuk. There are people who need to say something in their mind repeatedly to be focused. So if that works, that's great. There's a famous pasuk in Tehillim, very famous pasuk. The David HaMelech, I'm going to say this, I want you to hear carefully what he says. Unu eilech mirichecho. Where can I go away from your spirit? Unu biponecho evrach. Where can I run away from you? Imeisak shemayim. If I climb heavens, sham atu yedeh. V'etziyah she'oil. If I spread out in hell, hineka yosa there. Why does the person say like that? The Melech says, Unu eilach merichecho. Where can I go away from you? Unu mipenecho evrach. There's a part of us who wants to run. Wants to just run. Just go, just run. Where are you running? because there's a part that wants to run away from the responsibility of life, or responsibility being Jewish. We all have this that, I can't take it, I just want to run. So David HaMelech says, where I'm going to run, Isak Shemaim, if I climb the heavens, Shom Atu Yideh, Yitzi Yishal Yineku. If you could say that in your mind, the Baruch Shalom is open, there's no place to run, Hashem is all over. In English he says there's no place to run, there's no place to hide, and he says Hashem is all over. But you could also, verbalize it. And Reb Nachman Bester wanted you to say it out. I'm trying to slowly get you, after you meditate, if you're comfortable, say things out. Say it. The Baruch Shalom help me say what's bothering you. When I start meditation in my morning, I first say to Hashem the things that bother me, get it off my chest. This is not working, this is so difficult. Sometimes I have tongue-tied, you say in English, I cannot talk. I say to Hashem, I came to talk to you and I'm so stressed, I don't know what in the world to tell you. And I'm in a lousy mood. And, whatever I'm feeling, once I just say it out, those things, then things go away. Instead of fighting the mood, I just say, I am in a lousy mood. I am frustrated with life, and this is not working, or whatever. Or sometimes I have no idea what's bothering me. I don't know if you guys have, or sometimes you wake up, I have zero idea. Don't know why I woke up in such a mood. Tell Hashem, I don't know, I just woke up in a lousy mood. I am what I am. And then you talk, and then you could get into spiritual spheres. And then, when you finish meditation, I want you to all smile the rest of the week. You should be happy without the joke. Something the l'chaim make you happy. You should know that artificial happiness never works in real life. You all know that by now. If you really work on yourself to find happiness in yourself, you'll be the richest person. You're happy with yourself. And that's what meditation really does. Meditation helps you accept yourself. Like I said before, if you really like yourself, your life is rich. You wake up, you feel good. And if you don't like yourself, then it's going to go wherever you're going to go. You woke up here, you woke up in another bed, in a better house, in a bigger house, in an hotel, or on the plane. What does it make? You are there. It's you stuck wherever you're going. Sometimes people have this fantasy, if I would just do this, and I would just run here, and fly here, and I would go for a week there, and things are going to change. You're carrying your troubles with you. Nothing changes. Okay, are we ready to meditate? Any other question? So don't be disappointed when you meditate. At the beginning, your mind runs all over. That is part of your muscles in your mind that you have to bring it back again. You know what I mean? That's part of. But you should know, the more you do it, it's like jogging. If I would run around this room, I'll be out of breath. Some of you are so, and fit that you could run around the block 10 times and you won't be out of breath. It only happens because you're trained. If you work out, then it's okay. And if you don't work out, I'm sure if you didn't work out for a while, you feel it. Meditation is the same thing. Okay. anyone brave to talk about their experience? How about our Kohen over there?
And how long was that?
15 minutes.
Longest one for me, definitely was a little all over the place.
Were you able to bring your mind back?
Yeah, for sure. One thing you spoke about, which you mentioned, touched upon last week, and you kind of hammered it home again tonight, was, you know, if you're in a good mood and you're happy, you know, little things around the house specifically don't really bother you, because, you know, it is what it is. So I was just really trying to focus on that and trying to find ways to, you know, even when the house, my kids are around, there's homework and there's so much going on, just try to think of ways to make sure to keep myself up, you know, keep myself happy so that nothing bothers me.
Let me tell you, when I was raising my children, what I used to say, I used to say over 2 stories. Once upon a time, there was an airline called TWA. You heard about it? Some of you are too young to remember that. Not remember such airline. So there was a snowstorm in New York. And once upon a time, the old days, there was no smartphone. Sitting at the airport, there was a snowstorm. Gas gonna come. Everyone